Hello, welcome back to the Xpert 11 Road to Glory series, where in the last episode we picked up a huge victory at Real Madrid at home. I say huge because they had the better tactics and probably should have won, but only DF Devin really turned up for them, and our quality of the youngsters really shone through when Etta struck a late winner with 9 minutes to go. So, as that means we are now back into the playoff position, 2 points out of P4AHFC, who surprisingly forgot to set their tactics against Gorgie Thistle. Now, in this episode, we're playing 7th place Deep, a team that we should quite easily beat. The other results will be interesting because I wanted this to be a season of consolidation. It's starting to look like we have a genuine chance of a second consecutive promotion, even if it's only through the playoffs. So, let's check what the Deep team looks like now, because there's been a few changes since we last faced them. So, since our last game, Deep have signed 2 new players and sacked 1. They got rid of Amber O'Meary, their free kick taker, although he wasn't a particularly strong free kick taker anyway, and have strengthened their midfield with the signing of Roberto Di Bruno, who will add an extra pillar alongside Fred Kyland, although Kyland is still a standout player in midfield. They've also signed extremely promising youngster Eddie Mush, the 28 midfielder, is looking likely to replace O'Meary in midfield, and is probably going to sound the end for Matthias Moll in the Deep midfield. They've just come off the back of a double header against relegation rivals Blue Force, and unfortunately for Deep, they won 1 but also lost 1, which doesn't do any good for either side. So as a result, they are looking pretty likely to be relegated at the end of the season, but we cannot underestimate a relegated side, even if we are expected to win the game. So let's take a look at our side and see how things compare. Knights convincingly beat Deep away from home 4-1, our only away win of the season, without the services of our best defender Deadly King, who was injured at the time. He is back for this game, having also been back for the last game against Real Madrid, and his presence in the back 4 is very welcome indeed, especially with Aquila Santa Maria and Raymond Hargreaves on 2 yellow cards. However, it's not sure whether we're going to be playing any of our youngsters or not, as I'm not sure whether I'll be able to risk them, as Deep aren't exactly that predictable in terms of their tactics. So if we get this wrong, it could be a slip up, but at home we should be the favourites to win this one. So let's take a look at the team news. Knights line up in a 4-5-1 formation with Ant Connolly in goal, a back 4 Pinman de Kruis, Deadly King, Aquila Santa Maria and Pedro Miramontes, midfielder Breititao Etta, Pierre F. Hessling, Alvito Roma, Y. Junior and Raymond Hargreaves, and a front low man of Celso Mota. Deep are giving a debut to Eddie Mush in their 3-5-2 formation, with Jimmy Darby in goal, a back 3 of Aurelio Rajoy, Rach Lucinian and Junimo Navunga, a midfield of Sordamanto, Roberto Di Bruno, Eddie Mush, Fred Kyland and Jamie Bowling, and a front 2 Heriberto Di Toledo and Muwasik Muriang. Let's go live to the Supermassive Black Hole for the match. Captains for this match are Deadly King for Knights of Cydonia and Jimmy Darby for Deep. The referee is Mr. Charlie Fender, of course he is. Knights are playing from left to right in the red strip, Deep are playing from right to left in the black and grey strip. The other matches in the division see Blue Force against Gorgie Thistle, P4AH are taking on the King Punks, and Real Madrid are at home to league leaders Sham. As the 2 captains gather in the centre circle to the coin toss to decide who will be kicking off, a decision has been made and the match will get underway any moment now. And we're ready to get underway now! 3 minutes played and Knights already have a free kick. This is a good start by the looks of things. Free kick shot by Pedro Miramontes! And skims over the crossbar. So, first shot for Knights, but it fails to trouble the Deep goalkeeper Jimmy Darby. Real Madrid have got ahead against Sham. Now that's a real surprise. Real Madrid, who we had a lot of difficulty against the double header, they seem to be picking up a bit of steam. They could be promotion contenders after all after their strong start. They've got back on track and they are now leading against league leaders Sham, because they've become the first team to beat them this season. That's the end of the first half. The end of the first half is a 0-0 draw here with 1 chance and no goals. But the big news of the first half is Real Madrid are ahead against Sham. I wonder if they can hold it up for the second half. Even so, to capitalise on a potential defeat, we would have to improve our performance in the second half of this match. So, I suppose we should get on with the second half. Second half gets underway and I feel we probably haven't had the cutting edge we needed, so Sergei Kivyakovsky is going to come on to replace Pierre F. Hessling. 48 minutes played, and Deep have a free kick in a dangerous position here. Was that really the right decision? Sham have equalised against Real Madrid as Miriam's free kick shot on goal is saved by Ant Connolly. So to recap, Sham have equalised against Real Madrid, and Gorgi Thistle have just taken the lead against Blue Force, so they've taken a while to get going as well. Alvito Roma, those shots, and he scores! Alvito Roma gives Nice Cydonia the lead in the 54th minute of the game. Nice one, Deep Neil. Great. So, as things stand, we are getting closer to Sham. Then we've got a penalty. So we've closed the gap on Sham at the top as things stand, but we've got a penalty. Pim van der Kruis takes it. And he scores! Pim van der Kruis has scored another penalty. That's his 4th penalty of the season that he's tipped into the back of the net. That's going to make him one of our top scorers from the penalty spot alone, wouldn't it? Salsa measured token of goal. This is the goal. So as things stand, we are starting to pull a bit of a gap here between ourselves and the 3rd place P4HFC. In fact, Real Madrid are holding Sham to a draw here, and as things stand, we actually closed the gap to Sham at the top. Real Madrid just got ahead against Sham, so we have got we're just now 3 points behind Sham. Unbelievable. The free kick goal by Pedro Miramontes seals the deal. Knights of Cydonia 3, Deep Neil. But I'm really intrigued by this Real Madrid result, because if they can hold on to it, that'll be a huge result in the division. Real Madrid currently sitting 5th place, but they are ever so behind us. They're also behind P4AH, I should say. They're getting really close now, but this is looking really good for our playoff prospects now. And that is the end of the game and the end of the match. Knights of Cydonia have beaten Deep, relegation threatened Deep, convincingly 3-0, and instead of consolidation, this is now looking like a proper 2nd place playoff challenge and a possible 2nd consecutive promotion. Ledley King was the man of the match for us, while Aurelio Rajoy was the man of the match for Deep, who did well to stop our advances, but it was all for Norse in the end. Well, this round was certainly an interesting development, not least because Sham's the only unbeaten team left in the division. They had not lost a single game so far this season until this round, when Real Madrid, the team that would give us a few problems in the double header, managed to beat them 3-1. This could be an interesting turn of events, because it means that we have got a clear gap to the rest of the division. So it just remains for us to be seen. We need to start picking up results, especially in our difficult run-in to come in. And if we do so, we might be able to get a chance at getting promoted to Division 4. The playoff might be necessary anyway. Some players are really lagging behind on DV as things stand. Team of the week for this week is Brent Elms of the King Punks in goal. A back four of Fortunato Cortez, Sham, Ledley King, Knights of Cydonia, Rodrigo Leonardo, P4HFC, and Pedro Miramontes, Knights of Cydonia. Midfield of Nesto Diversa, Real Madrid, Hugh Warren, P4HFC, Alvito Roma, Knights of Cydonia, and Gerard Mayborn, P4H. Front two of Heriberto Di Toledo, Deep, and Celso Moto, Knights of Cydonia. Manager of the round is Phil Marr of Real Madrid, who's become the first person this season to beat Sham for the first time. That might be an ominous sign for us, as we lost to Sham at home and we've still got to play them away. They've gone and actually beaten Sham at home, so maybe we could have done a bit better. Anyway, let's take a look at the standings so far and see how that looks for going ahead to the last 5 games of the season. Sham still lead the division, but they have suffered their first league defeat of the season, so they're no longer unbeaten. They lost 3-1 away to Real Madrid, the real surprise scoreline in the division. As a result, Knights are just 3 points behind them after our win over Deep. Now, that's going to make things interesting. It means we are now favourites for the playoff spots. We have now got 4 points clear of P4HFC, who can only draw 0-0 at the King Punks at home. Gorgie Thistle beat Blue Force away from home, although only by a single goal. Real Madrid's victory moves them within 2 points of P4HFC, but the good news is we can afford to lose 1 game and still be in 2nd place, but any more than that, so I fear that we could end up losing the playoff space. More importantly, however, we are edging very close now to our original goal of the season, which was to survive in Division 5. If we win our next game against Blue Force and the King Punks only draw against their next opponents, then we will be guaranteed to be in Division 5, at least for next season. I say at least. We could end up in Division 4 next season the way things are going so far. It's been a very promising season so far, but we have a difficult run-in with games against Gorgie Thistle, Sham and P4AH back to back, which could end up determining the fate of our season. Still, it would be nice to get the playoff spot than try and get some more DV out of the players. I must admit, some players are really struggling for DV, and this could affect our long-term team strength, namely Pierre F. Hesting and Ibrahim Qamara. We'll see a bit more about that next time though. On the next episode, we're playing Blue Force away from home. See you then!